Welcome to Devstream 177.
I'm a little sick today, so I might just sit here looking pretty.
Very soon celebrating 11 years of Warframe. This is the key art for it, and as you can see, we do have a new Dex weapon. The Dex Nakana is going to be joining the anniversary Dex. We launched on the phones. We launched on iOS phones specifically. Obviously, the last Devstream talked a lot about Dante Unbound. This stream is going to be very gameplay heavy and showing you all of those things in action.
And Dante Unbound is going to bring you Dante, but his connection to existing characters might surprise you.
And I did see questions on, is it a quest? Is it?
No, we wanted to ship this update quickly. Quests do take probably the most time. Yeah, so Dante, you know, conceptually last stream we talked about how we wanted a book or librarian or all of these themes, and he came together beautifully.
And a couple unique things I would say about him as well. He does have a universal aura. I think the last and only other Warframe that has a universal is Protea.
Protea Prime even, I think, or is it also Protea?
Rebecca!
Get the out of here! You can pull out his one, and you can use Noctua as an exalted weapon. This has, you can also do an alt fire that's kind of like, you know, you'll build that up as you're hitting enemies, and you'll deal status damage. This is pretty much a classic exalted weapon.
I mean, it's alright, like.
His second ability is called Light Verse. So you're casting Light Verse, and as you can see, the page filled in, which means you can start building out a combo. So if Megan pressed Light Verse again, she now has a complete story. So if she presses her 4, she's going to cast Triumph, which is his kind of first story he can cast.
Don't understand that fucking shit.
Dark Verse, so you can see that's creating like a really visceral slash. Any enemy caught in the cone is going to get hit with damage. And then she can press 4 to do Tragedy, which is his story. But yeah, so the idea is that you're building a story with Dante, and you're queuing up the combos you want.
Like a light.
Let's do a light, then a dark.
Can we get a 2 and a 3?
This is Word Warden, and then if you cast this, you get a copy of Noctua, which you can see kind of just floating. But, you know, if you want to keep yourself and your allies, you know, healed with some Overguard, you'll be casting Light Verse a lot. And if you want to do damage to enemies in front of you and get some slash procs out there, you'll be doing Dark Verse, which is that X, that cone of slash procs. This is Dante.
Mass confusion.
And then we have what we're calling Deep Archimedia.
This other thing is also a weekly, but it's harder, and you can spend 2 of your keys from the vaults to unlock this one if you prefer. So you can see here, this is like a, I guess the closest point of reference, this is like a more challenging sortie of sorts. It's suggesting 3 frames there. If you bring one of those 3 frames, you get extra points. If you bring one of those 3 weapons, you get extra points, so on and so forth. And then on the bottom, there's certain personal modifiers you can select to essentially make it harder for yourself. As you select those, the bar on the bottom keeps growing. So the more things you select, essentially, the higher the rewards that you're gonna get. If you're like willing to do all the gear and all the things, and then on hard mode, you can get all of them.
What you're seeing there is you're going from Exterminate to Defense to Assassination, but you're doing it all in one playthrough.
Okay, let's run.
We're improving the base rewards for Netracell, so you can just keep on doing those.
Yep.
But if you want harder, you can now change basically 2 keys for 5 rewards.
Perfect. Everything.
So yeah, Pablo recorded a video on the Inaros rework.
I'll do a rundown of the Inaros rework. So let's start first with the hardest thing to do on Inaros, which is dying. So almost there. There we go. So now you turn into a sand version of yourself that can attack enemies, and you can see that meter on the center, and basically that kind of shows you how much you're reviving, and boom, you're back up. And his first ability works mostly the same, so you still do the sandstorm, and then that opens enemies for finishers, and those finishers with your passive heals you, so you heal back.
It's the same shit.
These 2 and 3, we kind of combine them, so now it has the mechanics of 3, so it's basically the whirlwind, but you can cast it much faster. It's limited duration now, so instead of a drain, it just lasts a certain amount of time, and it's faster. So you can see here, I basically can move quite a bit faster in there.
It's the same shit.
He's 3, and you can see it here. So basically when you tap, you charge, and then you can see in the lower right, you get a little meter for the armor. You can move now while you cast it instead of being static like it was before. And the benefits from the augment, which protect you from status, are now embedded into the ability. So basically, whenever you take a status, instead of actually suffering the status, you get protected.
Pretty good.
And his 4th gets the swarm part. When I cast the 4, you can see they get swarmed, and then that swarm can spread around. Essentially, it CCs them. And any enemy killed during that swarm will actually create a sandcat. All those units get swarmed, and then that swarm can spread around CCing enemies. It can strip armor.
Fuck yeah.
We are releasing 10 new augments, Warframe augments, in Dante Unbound. We talked about Mirage Eclipse.
Yeah, so your feedback was overwhelmingly to make it a toggle. As we said last time, if we made it a toggle, we're going to have to nerf it some, so we did. So essentially, instead of multiplying at the very end, it gets combined into your weapon damage.
And then we are also changing Nourish.
Yeah, but just the helmet version of it.
Yep.
Grendel's Nourish stays exactly the same.
What we're planning to do is just reduce the effectiveness. Our expectation is that it will still be the king of helmets.
It's not, like, we still want it to be popular and good because it allows for a lot of comfortable gameplay. It's just too dominant. If this goes down below, like, top 7, we will review it again.
All right, have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Wait, is the Gift of the Lotus alert live?
It was live 30 minutes ago.
I can play it on my phone.
You can do it on the iOS because it's live.
Actually, I should check on that hotfix before we go. Not to interrupt,